And we're back. Let's look at this scrapbook. Windlenot does it again. Sir Hubert Windlenot has been asked to withdraw his name from the Royal Society. This latest request by the Society was prompted by Windlenot's presentation of a griffin found in a tar pit in Turkey. Sir John S. Brown, president of the Society, made the following statement. Sir Hubert Windlenot is infamous in the 20th century for his capacity to embrace even the tallest of tales as proof of his own theories. This so-called griffin was fabricated from a pterodactyl, a saber-toothed tiger, and a raptor, all found conveniently in the same pit. He is a charlatan, not an archaeologist, and should not be considered one. I mean, to be fair, the mix of bones in a tar pit doesn't prove anything because famously all kinds of things can get caught in there and mingled together. But at the same time, it doesn't disprove it. You will remember, dear reader, that only last year Windlenot funded a major exhibition to search for the entrance to a subterranean world and tried to prove that Stonehenge was built by space aliens. This writer admits that Windlenot's theories sound a bit far-fetched, but I for one hope he continues his research. If he's funding it himself, why do people care? I guess they care because they want their projects to be funded, but other than that, leave the guy alone. I mean, yeah, and look at him. He's got that mad scientist look, but come on. Museum groundbreaking. Mount Pleasant Mayor Jim Wilton and the President of the Chamber of Commerce Bob Taylor assist Sir Hubert Windlenot in the groundbreaking of Professor Windlenot's Museum of the Strange and Unusual, scheduled to open in the spring of 1961. Wow. Opening in 64, 70, 76, question mark? When Sir Hubert Windlenot this is, I think, based on the timeline, I think this is the first time that he was referred to as Windlenut. When Sir W. appeared in Mount Pleasant 11 years ago, he brought a breath of fresh air to this tired college town. After teaching just one semester at the college, he took on the title of professor and announced he would build a museum that would bring the wonders of the world to our little town. Our hopes soared. This meant new jobs during the construction of the museum and a surge of tourism to boost our economy. Our hopes soon died, however, when the professor announced that only outside contractors would be used to keep the secrets of the museum from being exposed. Then, just yesterday, he announced that the museum, which is already 5 years overdue, would require at least another 3 years to complete. I, for one, am tired of having my hopes and dreams for a better Mount Pleasant dashed on the rocks of Professor Windlenot's museum. I believe it will never open. 11 years ago, 61 was the groundbreaking. It's 5 years overdue, and that says 64, but he could be rounding. Okay, just fact-checking the dates there a little bit. Geoffrey P. Windlenot, son of the absent Sir Hubert, and Lady Mary Elizabeth Windlenot, will be attending Oxford in the fall. The Windlenots have not only attended Oxford for 7 generations, but have been generous benefactors as well. Geoffrey will follow in his grandfather's footsteps, Sir William of Runcorn, and study banking, hoping to work for the family firm upon graduation. The personal possessions of Siegfried Schwartz, who died 23 years ago, were sold yesterday to Sir Hubert Windlenot, who offered and paid an undisclosed amount for the entire collection. Officials said he was interested in never-resolved rumors surrounding the mysterious death of Mr. Schwartz. When questioned, the buyer said, "I believe his demise is related to pottery vessels that I hope are still included among his possessions. These vessels have reportedly been linked to the deaths of several individuals, each found shriveled and mummified. I am interested in the vessels from an archaeological viewpoint, however. Sir Windlenot plans to exhibit the vessels in a museum he has founded, 1977. So this appears to be from an out-of-town paper. No, I just realized that this so-called Englishman does not seem to have any kind of an accent. But anyway, so I wondered, are these done originally on computer? I know, like, pretty much everything was hand drawn first and then brought in. Could these be like original clay models they made? It'd be super cool if it was. They look like it. So if they're not, they did a good job. So let's think about this. Schwartz, if you remember from the prologue story, Schwartz is the archaeologist that Jorge was going to give the pots to, or sell the pots to. They did end up with him, apparently. Died 23 years ago, so he died in 1954. So apparently Schwartz got them. That was the same year. 1954 is the year that May. In fact, it's almost exactly. It was May 14th of 1954. So it's 23 years and 10 days before this article was written. Jorge dies. Schwartz must, I guess, when they went out looking for him, they found him there, they found the pots, and Schwartz got them or bought them or whatever, and then they got him. So I want to understand, how is it if these vessels are supposed to contain these spirits, how did they get to him, Jorge? I think the best thing I can think is those diggers, those grave robbers. They must have broken one. That XP got out and got them. But, and then, he was still there. But, Wendell-Knott's ghost said that once an XP had killed, they had enough strength or essence to go out into the world, and the pot had no more power over him. So the one that got Jorge and the grave robbers they must have broken or opened a bunch of pots. 4 of them. And then the one that got Schwartz here. So I think there are 5 others above and beyond the ones that Wendell-Knott brought in. Anyway. Mount Pleasant Tribune. This is from September of 1980. This is the same day as Wendell-Knott's message on the tape player. He says, "The boy has been following me." I think they maybe should have had this dated a little bit before. But at any rate, Mount Pleasant Tribune, Tornado hits local trailer park. Teenager still missing, police baffled. Police are baffled by the disappearance of Beth Nelson and Merrick Campbell. A witness reported last seeing the pair leaving together from the high school on Friday. While police are treating the disappearance as a runaway, students at the school insist that the pair were not that close. No way would he run off with her. Beth was always following Merrick around, but I think he just put up with her. She wasn't very popular, said cheerleader Stephanie Stiles. Police first became aware of the missing teenagers early Saturday morning when Merrick's father, John Campbell, reported the disappearance of his son. Recently relocated from New York City, Mr. Campbell teaches chemistry at the local university. I know there has been foul play. Merrick would never run away, as he plans to attend Harvard next fall, Mr. Campbell stated. Mrs. Rachel Nelson, a Mount Pleasant native and mother of the missing girl, was working Friday night at Bob's Tavern and was not aware of her own daughter's absence until the police came to question her on Saturday. The girl's father is living out of state, and the police have reported that he has no knowledge of his daughter's whereabouts. If anyone has any information leading to the location of the 2 teenagers, please contact either the police or the newspaper. Why would you contact the newspaper? Gilles Blatt. Presidential candidate Ronald Reagan received the hero's welcome as he arrived in his home state yesterday for a week of campaigning and fundraising. He will appear in LA for the next 2 days and travel to San Francisco, Sacramento, and Oakhurst over the course of the following 3 days. After a short sabbatical at his ranch above Santa Barbara, Reagan plans to sweep the South before. And funny that he should visit Oakhurst. That's an Easter egg. Oakhurst, California is a tiny town at the gates to Yellowstone. Or Yosemite, not Yellowstone, Yosemite. And that's where Sierra was. The Sierra office was. Sierra, the company that made this game. By the time this game came out, they were no longer in Oakhurst. But that is where they were for a long time. All of their prime heyday, they were in Oakhurst. Tiny town Sierra was all they had. Now, how do I get to the... There were some papers down below. Oh, well, okay. September 17th, 1980. So this is just a little bit before the teens disappeared. But this is quite a few years after his letter. My dearest Jeffrey, this is the same handwriting as his wife. I was deeply gratified to receive your letter. After 8 years, I was afraid you would never forgive me. Your letter, however, gave me hope that I might once again be part of your life. You may not be aware of this, but your mother felt it best that I distanced myself from you. She was perhaps correct. When I first dreamed of the museum, you were to be... Well, the last one went right to it. This one jumps down a bit. You were to be a part of it. 20 years have passed, and it is still incomplete. I do feel, however, with the I thought it was Siegfried. Is it Siegfried? Schwartz acquisition and an upcoming trip to Zimbabwe, my collection will be complete. Upcoming trip has to have been a pretty short trip because he was back 13 days later. And if it was upcoming, he's not like leaving that day. Anyway, please come, view the museum, and tell me what you think. Yours is the one opinion I treasure most in all the... Something. There's no reason why he wouldn't have finished that letter. It's interrupted like he was attacked or something, but this is before. Best not go there. We heard the music. That's that cue I was talking about. Oops, didn't I click? Okay, guess not. The axe is missing. I have absolutely no idea what this stuff is supposed to be. Or what it even could be. Ugh. There's one here too. You can barely hear the music cue, but you can definitely hear that sound effect. You notice how it changed. It's great. We just had one. Now I have this one. You can hear how that right back to back really shows how that sound effect changes to show you. And that's an important clue, because if you're not quite sure where the spirit is, that sound effect, knowing what element it is, cannot be what you're supposed to avoid. Possible basilisk? Bone fragments. found in Nigeria, 1974. Let's write these numbers down. I mean, these are the ones they found. Like what? Okay. I mean, obviously these are crackpot theories because this is Wendell we're talking about. But like, I don't even know what logical leaps he's trying to make here. Where did we see three-digit numbers? Here. Okay, well, 241, 109, 490, 147, 65B, and 342A. Nothing. I've had to think about this, and I'm wondering, how are you supposed to, like, is there a particular reason that you would be able to logically figure this out? I'm not quite sure if in that picture the ones labeled are the ones that were found, or they're the missing ones. But at any rate, the best clue I can think, and this is a bit obtuse, is that we have some of the bone fragments, and to prove that it's a basilisk, we need the missing ones. So actually what you want to do is to open the drawers that are not listed. Looks to be some kind of cat with a T. So, I guess I'll let that spin one out. So we have a base in the workshop. It has a circle with a like a U-neck opening. That's stop. That symbol. Stop. Come on. Is T. Let's see. Squiggle. It's a tiny drawing. Should have given myself more room. It's got kind of a face. Hopefully that's good enough. Made it. We are here in the museum proper. And let's see, what's the best? It's a pretty cool entry. It was so close to being done. Transforming masks. The Cannibal Society, unnecessary comma, of the Quackyoodle Indians of the Northwest American coast wore these spectacular transforming masks during the winter initiation ceremonies. These masks represent birds and monsters associated with the man-eating spirit. I looked these guys up on a lark one time. This is a real tribe. It's not quite the right name in terms of what they called themselves. But they were real people. I think there are technically still some people of this bloodline out there. There was no mention in the article I found about cannibalism, but these masks were a real deal, and they are huge. At least in the picture I saw, the one had to be at least 3.5 foot long all the way down to the tip. It's something. You should look it up. And yes, they do open up like that. Do you hear that? That's weird. I can hear the Ixapi theme. That's really weird. I shouldn't be able to hear it here. The background music is going. If the Ixapi theme starts, the background music disappears. I think I got a glitch. It's got like duck feet or something. Okay, so the masks are holding. I'm just gonna have to draw it. And the symbol here is the lazy boy recliner. Yeah, it's the wood Ixapi theme is still going. Here's the axe. Huh. The items in this case were found in a Mayan ceremonial cave in British Honduras. The jade skull is one of the largest jade items in the world. The what? There's no skull. Anyway, let's stop here for now. I'm not gonna lie, the fact that that theme is still playing, I know it's just an audio glitch, but it's kind of freaky. It shouldn't be playing, man. Anyway, I'm gonna save and stop for now, and I'll see you next time.